Hi, this is Melissa from Working on Calm, and I wanted to share with you another one of my favorites from last week's Take 5 newsletter. And I asked readers, can you live in day-tight compartments? And I got this from one of my favorite principles in Dale Carnegie's How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And so I used to be a Dale Carnegie instructor or trainer, and we used this book. So it combines both how to win friends and influence people and the lesser known but really useful book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And so Dale Carnegie uses a lot of examples that are, from a long time ago. And so he uses this story of Sir William Osler, who was giving an address to students graduating from Yale in the 1900s, early 1900s. And he had come over across the ocean in an ocean liner, and the captain had given him a tour and showed him how the vessel worked, and that, he was very impressed that he could push a button and essentially a lot of machinery would work in a way such that it could shut off compartments of the ship. And this was really important. If there was a leak in one part of the ship, you didn't want to be out in the middle of the ocean and not be able to stop it. And so this would allow a captain to contain a leak to one spot and continue on in the voyage. And he told this story because he thought it was a good analogy for the students. And he had told them that they were bound as graduating, as they were graduating from college, they were bound for a much longer journey than the ocean liner going across the ocean. And life will take us on all kinds of paths, and we need to be prepared. And to do that, he was recommending to the students that they really protect the machinery of their mind and body by focusing on just what was right in front of them, just the present moment. And so he called this a day-tight compartment as opposed to the watertight compartment of the ocean liner. And I've just always liked that imagery and the lesson that we can learn from that. You might be wondering, well, that sounds good, but how? How do I do that? And so one way in which I practice is if I find myself being just very worried or distracted by, 10 steps ahead of myself, if I'm doing something and I'm already worrying about what I need to do next, or tomorrow. I use that as a cue. I will catch myself and I will label it and say, oh, there I go. I was worrying, or I was distracted, or I was busy planning. And then I bring myself back to the present moment. And there's all kinds of ways you can do this. One way is I like to visualize just a blue sky and clouds passing. And for me, the analogy is those thoughts, that planning or that worrying is passing like the clouds. Some people like to take a deep breath. Sometimes I'll do that as well. Whatever breathing technique you like. And I've posted some videos on those, as well as made some blog posts. Just connect with your breath for a minute. Or maybe do something like plant your feet on the ground. Just bring yourself back to the present moment, what's right in front of you, what you can see, feel, or hear. Those are some good ways to just bring you back to the present moment. And simply interrupting those thoughts, that worrying or that planning, interrupting it, labeling it, and then redirecting to the present moment helps. It doesn't mean it's going to work every time. It takes practice, but it is one thing that you can do, and you have to consider that a success. So if you catch yourself worrying or lost in rumination and you bring yourself back to the present moment, even if you're distracted 2 seconds later, it was a successful practice. And we just have to keep practicing that over and over again. Give it a try this week and let me know how it goes. If you like this sort of content, then consider subscribing to Take 5. It's my weekly newsletter. It has 5 things to consider for a calmer mind and body. Or you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all under the handle of Working on Calm. Or you can subscribe on YouTube. Thank you.